for science here.
Are you kidding me?
Hey guys, hopefully you're having a good Friday. We're here in the scientific experiment area at Toad's Studios, and what we're going to talk about today is calibrating your caliper gauge. I know a lot of times we use these all the time, but we never really make any comparison to other objects that we deal with in day-to-day life, so we're going to go through that today. And one of the first things that you need to do is you want to make sure that the dial is zeroed, and you can see that we're zeroed here. And we're going to take some common everyday objects that we would usually use. And first up, this is an old Remington sticker. And you'll notice that the thickness of that sticker is 12 thousandths. And so that'll kind of give you an idea how, if you're seating your bullets 12 thousandths off of the lands, that would tell you that it's not very thick at all. Not very. Next up is this business card, Brothertown Paving, great company here in upstate New York. That card is 14 thousandths. So a lot of times, if you were to look at the different money that we have some $1 bills, and we have some 50s and some 100s and some 2020s. We're going to measure these now. First up, $1. $1 is about 4.5 thousandths. If I'm reading that correctly. You think that the 50 is going to be any different? $50's 5 thousandths. You'd think if it was worth, 50 times more, it would be thicker, don't you? And the $100 bill with good old Benjamin Franklin on there. That guy had some good ideas. Strangely enough, Ben is the same thickness as the $1 bill at 4.5 thousandths. And this is my favorite new 2020 bill. We have good old Donald on there. He's been taking hits for the last 3.5 years, and still he's like the Energizer Bunny, isn't he? Let's see how much his bill is. That's funny. He's down around 4 thousandths. All right, we've gotten into some very, very thick dimensioned objects. Let's take a couple that we might not be aware of the dimensions of. The first up is we have I yanked this out of my eyebrow this morning, and that is an eyebrow hair, and we're going to check that for thickness. And my eyebrow hair is 2.5 thousandths. And because I don't have any hair on my head, I grabbed a nad hair this morning from the nether region. And there that is. It's all for science here. And isn't it funny that the nad hair is 4 thousandths So we could make some determinations that the closer you get to the ground, the thicker the hair becomes. Maybe the less washed the hair is, the thicker it becomes. But the theory even gets a little bit deeper here, because on here we have a gray one right here that I obtained this morning very scientifically. And you'll notice that the gray one is almost 5 thousandths. So I could say that right now I'm seeding my bullets off the rifling at about a gray nether region hair. And now that you have watched this video, you know what that means. How about functionality? We have two types of dental floss here. The one on the left is a type of floss that ends up snapping off and leaving that little strand of floss between your teeth. And then you have this one that's a little bit more expensive that seems to work a lot better. And we're into the, these fine little measurements, and we keep buying that other floss that keeps snapping off in our teeth. Well, why is that? Well, dental floss is not round, it's flat. So you'll notice that it's flat. And so the one that gets stuck, you gotta be careful here with this because you can crush it. The one that gets stuck in your teeth is 5 thousandths. Let's see the one that doesn't get stuck in your teeth. You gotta get it on the flat. You don't wanna. That's 4 thousandths. So obviously, because the measurement is a thousandth less, it's not going to get stuck in your teeth. How about a piece of American cheese? Now, American cheese, I could tell my viewers now, after looking at this, that if we check the thickness of a slice of American cheese, we're at around 90 thousandths of an inch. So my 338 Lapua, I actually seat that at the thickness of a slice of American cheese, so we might discuss that in future videos. And so we've covered pubic hairs and eyebrow hairs. How about a piece of paper towel? Let's see what a paper towel is. You got to be careful not to crush these. But this is 20 thousandths, which is a paper towel, which should not be an uncommon distance to seat your bullets from the lands. And then the almighty toilet paper. And toilet paper, strangely enough, is 3 thousandths, which is, how can something that's 3 thousandths thickness be worth this, and then something that's 4,000 thickness like this, how could this have so much more value? Or eventually does the value of this and this become the same? I mean, that's just something I'm thinking about this morning. And let's get into some things that we do. My wife's Vanity Fair magazine here. We'll check that out for thickness. And 4,000th. And I do have some older publications here. Some of my favorites. This is Mad Magazine from 1972. If you're not from that area, you really won't know what that actually has to do, but that's a spoof on good old Barbara Streisand. It says, on a clear day you can see a funny girl singing Hello Dolly Forever. And just look at that great Mad Magazine picture there. So this is 72. And that's 4,000th. Okay. So in 1972, Mad Magazine's thickness was 4,000ths. Now this is a little bit of an older edition here. This is back in the 60s. I would say probably 1968 or so, because you can see LBJ's there, and he's sneaking into a limousine here. And if you look real close, if you've ever seen this issue, this is a Alfred E. Newman for President issue. And on the inside we have, look at this, still got the original sticker, which I think I might put it on the back of my Prius this year, I don't know. But we're talking about the thickness of the cover. See if back then these special editions were thicker. And hell, they're a lot thicker. Let me get that. I don't want to tear it. 6,000th. So that's a sign of the times. This magazine was 6,000ths on the cover, and the Barbra Streisand Mad magazine was 4,000ths. And I thought I'd cover just a couple of things here this morning with you. Hopefully you have a good weekend, and thanks for watching. I'll tell you, you'll hear the snip, okay? When you hear the,
What are you cutting?
I'm just going to cut a small little piece, like right here, something like that. And you're never going to notice it's even gone.
I don't trust you.